I often ask teachers, what would your brain be like if you were sitting in your classroom? So I made this list, and it's just as appropriate for teachers to think about their own whenever they're learning versus their students too. So it's a list that's really bi-directional for students and teachers, that thinking of what we know, what would make you be the smartest you could be in college. Customized meetings is something that's part of my list, in that try to train your students and train yourself to push students not to write down what you're saying verbatim. I know when I'm teaching classes too, I'd say, would you repeat that again? I didn't get the third word. And you're like, oh my God, they're taking down exactly what I say. Can you listen and try to abstract it? So as a teacher, it's really important to teach students in your college classes from the very beginning. Listen for these global meanings, and it will help them to learn what you're saying much more. One of the lists is build an entrepreneur mind. I would like to suggest that it helps teachers, if they train their students, what questions don't we know the answer to? Can you come up with what I've taught you? What do you wish you knew the answer to that I haven't taught you? Or what is it that we only have partial information? So that's what an entrepreneur, they're constantly trying new things, new platforms. Seek and train curiosity is one of the other points that kind of builds on this. I think it's interesting, an article that was in Science Magazine just this week talked about students that are performance-oriented, grades, standardized tests. I want to get an A on that. I lost 2 points. Versus someone that, I love to learn, I love to think about thinking. The students that love to think about thinking were actually the ones who were the most successful. Repetition deepens learning. You may think, well, repetition, you're saying don't, go over this or, the facts, but one thing we know is neurons that fire together, wire together. You've got to go over it multiple times. Just because you understand it doesn't mean you know it to learn it. The more you go over it, the more deeply the neurons and the synapses that we were talking about strengthen if I repeat it. So, athletes know it, right? Look at the most famous athletes, how many times they practice when they seem so perfect, learning, and those the synapses that we were talking about get stronger the more you practice, and repetition is how you practice.